you can grow an account from $100 to $100,000 very, very, very rapidly mathematically. But the problem is that is not reality.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Anarchy Podcast. 99% of traders will never make consistent profits. So why listen to the 99% of advice? On this show, we're going to challenge some of the most hallowed and repeated tenets of trading, and in doing so, set you up to succeed where others fail. Spoiler alert, we don't have a secret strategy or magic wand that will let you skip out on the hard work of learning the markets, but we can debunk viewpoints that are holding you back. If that sounds good to you, come join us.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. It's been a minute here. Thank you, Levi, for filling in for me last week there when I wasn't able to make it, or was it this week? I don't remember. It's been a bit of a crazy week. During my solitude alone while I was gone, not really. I was just at work and unable to make the time zone work. I got thinking, one of my pet peeves, at least for me, is the subject of account flipping. Now, when I'm talking about account flipping, I think we've all seen them, right? So we see these challenges on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram all the time. This was kind of probably made popular, at least one person. It was the 20 trade like the 20 trade challenge, essentially, where if you made these 20 trades in a row, you would grow an account from like starting at $100 to like $100,000 or something, right? It was one of those type 20 trade challenge or whatever by the moving average, which I have no problem calling them out because I have issues with everything they do. But yeah, essentially it was like you can take $100 and you can turn it into $1 million. Like that is the claim by many people. And YouTubers love making videos of them YOLOing accounts or taking $1,000 to $1 million or whatever it may be. And I have an issue with that because I really feel that it misrepresents what trading truly is. And so I wanted to talk about it. Levi, what's up?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much.
You you always say nothing much. So let's go a little deeper today. I work for a mental health facility. When you say not much, tell me about that.
So we doing work on our we have rental properties, and we're working on we're working on a duplex right now that we're we're trying to get fixed up. So I did work on that today. We're trying to split up a unit and make it into a duplex. Did work on that, and then we have a truck that is just not working, and so I did work on that. So anyway, that's what I did today. So yeah,
What
you're
what
right.
people might what people might not know about Levi is when he was 15, our mom and dad bought a house that essentially was just a shell. And when we say house, more like it's
It
a
was a
shack. It was a
shack.
shack. It was a shack. And they decided that it would be a good idea since Levi, I think, was the one at home not going to school, that Levi would do all the electrical and plumbing, etc. So they just this was before the advent of internet, essentially. And so they went to the store, bought a bunch of books, brought them home, sat them on Levi's dresser, and said, "Here, Levi, here's all the books you need to know about how to do the house." And Levi read those books, and uh, I think he only almost blew up himself. I think he only blew
Figured
himself
it
up
out.
once with two. You hooked up some 220 or something, right? Once, and
Yeah.
that nearly blew yourself up.
Well, because I'd run electrical for our oven, which is 220, so real high voltage electricity to our where our oven would be, but we didn't have an oven at the time, so we just had the wire running to like where it would be. And then at some point I needed to cut the wire for something in the basement, and and I figured because we didn't have an oven that the 220 wire would be off, and like a moron didn't check, so I just took like I tin snips, like these big shears, and just cut the wire in half, which happened to be on, blew a huge hole in the shears. Absolutely made me just scared the living bejesus out of me. So anyway, but all of that stuff has stood me in good stead, because now my wife and I do real estate, and we fix up houses, and we do some we haven't done any flips yet, but we do stuff and fix them up and then rent them out. So it's worked out well. So anyway, that's what's up. That's not much for me. When I say not much, that's my life. That's that's pretty much what's been going on. So yeah, so account flipping. So there's a few things here. Whenever you see something online, just remember most of online is fake, especially when it comes to like influencer type stuff. So there's a few different categories, and I want to talk about this a little bit. Um, there are when it comes to, hey, I'm flipping an account, there are real account flips, right? Because day trading can make money. If you do it right, day trading can make money. And therefore, somebody can take an account that is $10,000 and turn it into an account that's $20,000. Like it's possible. And then there are the completely faked um uh ones, the account flips, which is, by the way, incredibly easy to do, really common. Like if anybody's looking for clout online, um, then it's really easy to do, especially when you can essentially sell your services. So look, I turned $1,000 account to $1 million account. Buy my services, I'll tell you how to do it for $1,000. Really common, really easy to do. And then there's the last one, which is actually the trickiest one that can get people because it's kind of real. It's real. It's just real because they've uh just done the numbers. Essentially, you can do enough of these accounts that you can finally make one work. Where so it's real. Yes, you turned $1,000 account into $100,000 account in a month, but that's because you did it a lot and you did a lot of different accounts that were really cheap and you just YOLO'd them and took a crazy ton of amount of risk and you eventually got one that worked. Yes. So those ones, there's kind of those three camps, and so we should probably talk about those separately.
Yeah, so I mean, the one that I really care about is the one that actually looks possible to people, right? Because
Yeah.
essentially the one that works and the one that, let's be honest, a lot of people who get into day trading are usually probably pretty good with numbers, and they go, okay, I'm starting off with $100, and if let's say I risk 33% per trade, so I can only lose three trades in a row, but people go, well, that's not possible. If your win rate is a normal 80%, your chance of losing three trades in a row, come on, guys. Uh, Even the best traders lose three in a row literally all the time, all the time. Um, but that's the one that works because you look in Excel spreadsheet, risking 33%, you can grow an account from $100 to $100,000 very, very, very rapidly mathematically. But the problem is that is not reality, right? It just isn't reality. The chances of you, let's so yeah, if you're let's say you're risking 33% of your account every trade, the chance of you actually winning doing that consistently is, well, I would say zero in the long term, maybe in the short term.
Yeah, I mean, it's frankly, it's easy to make money. I mean, it's really easy to make money. I mean, the hard part is to make money consistently, like, and without blowing up your accounts, like without losing your livelihood. It's really easy to go to a casino and put $1,000 on black, or spin the roulette wheel, and double up. It's really easy. In fact, it's almost 50%. Like, yay, you just doubled your money. Amazing. You're crazy good. You're an amazing gambler. Well, like that's easy. What's hard to do is spin roulette and make consistent money that you can actually, raise kids on and have a family with. In fact, it's impossible, right? Unless you're cheating. So yeah, that's the hard part. I mean, it's fairly easy to eh, it's fairly easy to YOLO accounts and make ones work. So and then you show that to people, you show the one that worked, and it blows everybody's minds, and they go, "Whoa! I mean, it's real. Like that's crazy." I there's this great the British people, our UK listeners will know who I'm talking about, but there's a he's kind of a mentalist magician guy, Darren Brown. Darren? I think it's Darren Brown. He's got some interesting, essentially social experiments that he's done in the past, and one of them was one where he essentially it's an entire documentary where he's talking about this amazing gambling system he has, where he would tell people he would tell, it followed this one woman who he gave predictions for horse races on. And he gave the correct winner of the horse races, like 10 horse races in a row, called the correct winner. Um, and just she got it because she got a like his company sent a flyer to her in the mail. It's essentially telling her, hey, go place a small bet on this one horse. It's a winner. We have a system. And as he correctly kept picking the correct winners, she kept betting more and more money because they all were correct. Again, like 10 in a row. And it's this whole thing. You're wondering how he did it. Like, how is it possible that this guy and some of the races, like another horse would be ahead and then the horse would trip. And it was like, what? How did he accurately predict these horse races? At the end, he just goes, yeah, you know this one woman you've been following in this documentary the whole time? She's one of like 1,000. There's we did this thousands of times to thousands of people. We told thousands of people to video themselves as they were doing this and taking these trade stores. All of the rest of them failed. You saw the one winner, right? And this is essentially what this is. What a lot of these account flippers do is they take a lot of things, they lose a lot of money, and then they get the one thing that works. And then it's like, yay, look at me. Now buy my course.
And that's what really gets my goat, right? It's the treating it like this is a normal. It's like treating it as the norm instead of the absolute outlier that honestly, statistically, is impossible, right? So statistically, doing it is impossible in the long term, right? Like you
Yeah.
can get lucky. You can get lucky, but statistically, you're going to lose if you're doing that. It's like gambling, right? Like as you said, you can go and put it on black and look, you can get lucky and double down, and you can win 50%. You can win that black 10 times in a row. But at the end of the day, statistically, you are going to lose. And that's kind of what my take is right now with like account flipping is statistically, the odds are not in your favor.
The reason it got popular was not because it's a good long-term strategy that people can actually do, like you can actually replicate. The reason it got popular is because it's really the algorithms flip and love it. Like, I mean, there's so much engagement, right? You do an account flip on Twitter, on Instagram, you get clicks, you get views. So it's really, really common to do. It's not possible for a long-term consistent strategy. You can't turn $100 into 100,000 in a month consistently. You're just not. And the people who are doing that stuff, who are showing that stuff, they're making their money off their courses. Right. So I have no problem with somebody being a mentor, somebody being a coach. I do have a problem with them posting that stuff and then saying, hey, this is, if I can do this, you can too, and I'll show you how. And that's the marketing strategy. And it's incredibly dishonest and it's ridiculous. So just remember, guys, look, if something seems too good to be true, that's because it is. Day trading can be a good business, but it is a business.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And it kind of goes back to what we discussed a couple weeks ago with the fact that trading is dangerous, right? And it's
Hmm.
dangerous when you start treating it as the casino. As I said, it would be much safer for traders if you feel like gambling, go actually gamble. I'm not being, by the way, I am not recommending you go and gamble because let's be honest, I think gambling is just a tax for stupid people. But if you do feel the need to gamble, go gamble at the casino. It is actually much safer than for you to take all of your savings and to mix it with your business, right? They're
Yeah.
two separate things. So treat your trading as a business and your free time and getting your thrills some other way.